had done a coaching session with you, and we all thought it was really cool, and he was like super hype about it. So it was mostly just he was wanting to like share the love with us, and it was kind of a Christmas birthday present. And
Cool.
he was like, "Hey, get a coaching." And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Okay, so what's your
Goal.
good?
If we can get the hell out of Herald, man.
Cap? How long you been playing Dota for?
Way too long to be this bad. 13 years.
Ah. Yeah, I think so you've been playing with him, I think, because he was about that same time, right?
Yeah, yeah. I kind of got the group started. I played a bit solo for a while, and then kind of roped everybody else into playing.
What would you attribute to your reason for being 450 MMR after 13 years?
Mostly just not putting in a whole lot of effort to like actual learn the nuances of the game. Like I've always just like I knew about like map awareness. I know about like obviously try to last it if you're the carry, if you're the support, back off a bit, harass, pull lane, stack creep camps if you can. And so like it was mostly just general knowledge stuff, but I never like got into like what actually like wins or loses games. And it was more so just like let's just watch Dota competitively and then let's just play randomly. We just recently started ranked, like probably within the last like few months really. We kind of started getting back into it and getting into ranked.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. So I'm curious, based on your Dota Plus, does this mean you've never played Spearbreaker before?
I think I've played them before, but it's been a long time.
Okay, so I'm curious, like, what your general approach is to picking heroes.
So in this particular game, we did ranked roll queue. I just have all the roles selected and kind of just go with whatever I'm given. I was given pause three, and I generally end up playing pause three in a lot of the games that we do play. I bounce between a lot of different heroes. I'm just trying to win games with heroes that I haven't won a game with yet, for the Atlas. And so I like panic picked Spirit Breaker because like he looks fun to learn and play. And so I was kind of improv building the items and skills, and so I did definitely some wrong skill selections at the beginning, which I learned, and I feel like I did some wrong items throughout the game, but I started off pretty strong. I felt like
So my goal with this session is to have us be on the same page when it comes to what
cool.
your aspirations of the session are. And and I always just try to be as transparent as possible about what I think you'll get out of this session based on how we're setting it up. So
Okay.
if you if I'm to understand what's making you 450 MMR, I would have to see you on a hero you've played a lot, because
Okay.
otherwise I'm going to be teaching you what you're doing wrong on Spearbreaker. Like, that's what's going to happen if we watch this
Okay.
game. Because if I see you on a hero you've played 100 times, then I will know that you're just going to do this shit wrong every game. Do you know what I mean?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
While if
Okay, that
you're new
makes
to
sense.
Spirit Breaker, you might be making all types of mistakes, because I would be making all types of mistakes on any hero I haven't played in quite some time, right? That I don't
Makes
think
sense.
reflect like my maximum potential as a player.
Okay.
So do you happen to have a replay from the last week that would be on a hero you're more familiar with? I think it would be more helpful for you.
Let me launch my Dota.
Sure.
Sorry, man.
We don't have to do that. I just, I want you to get the most out of this as possible. And I think that's,
That's fair.
yeah,
I mean, honestly, I would let's review this game. Is
sure.
I bounce around heroes a lot, like general knowledge, and I had a lot of fun with Spirit Breaker. So playing more of Spirit Breaker is something that I would like to see in my repertoire.
Okay.
So I'm okay with what I can get out of this session, and I feel like I put in the maximum effort in my opinion. Like I did try my very
Yeah, yeah,
best
yeah.
because I was every time I was playing Pause 3, I'm like, I'm gonna be sending this to him. I'm gonna be sending this to him. Like, let me get a game in that I feel like I did
Okay.
really well and something messed up somewhere and I don't know where.
Okay. So we're gonna stick with this game. Sounds like you want me to watch this game, and that's fine. So um my thoughts my question is this. What if I told you that I don't really believe it's possible to meaningfully climb, not only climb, but also improve at the game if you don't limit yourself to like 3 to 4 heroes at any given time?
Okay. That could definitely be my problem. I've done the all hero like 2 or 3 times.
So for me, what I think is this is like hindsight 2020. I wish somebody told me this, but it's kind of funny. I kind of stumbled on essences of this over the course of my time playing.
Yeah.
I think by far, like indisputably across the board for any player, the best way to improve is to limit your hero pool significantly at any given moment where you play 3 heroes for like a week or two, and you can rotate these heroes over time, but like you don't play one game of Spirit Breaker here and then 3 months later. It's like if you play Spirit Breaker, you play him 10 times in 2 weeks. And you either
Okay.
continue leaving him in your group of 3 because you're really loving it and you want to keep playing it. And you can even have it where like what ends up happening with this is you get really competent at every hero you're playing. You get better at learning how to be competent on heroes, like because there's like for instance, I'm learning Dutch. This is the first time I've ever learned a foreign language, and I
Okay.
know for a fact that after I've learned Dutch, I will have a much clearer idea of how to learn other languages better. Just like the idea of approaching a language. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's how
Sure,
I
sure.
view learning heroes in Dota. It's a skill that cannot be developed if you're not doing this. And
Okay.
so the idea is not, hey man, you need to play 3 heroes until you get to 4K. It's more like you need to be consciously limiting yourself where I'm going to know the guide, the skill build, the general play style of this hero. I'm going to refine this over like 10, 15 games, and then I can decide from there if I want to keep playing it or I want to like loop back to it like 3 months later or like never, whatever.
Okay.
Um,
Heard.
so I'm gonna probably make a video on this because I've had to say something like this to a lot of people. So
Fair.
what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna watch you play Spear Breaker, and the goal is I'm gonna try to give general tips and tricks about concepts that are applicable to every hero in general, but we're gonna be using Spear Breaker as an example, meaning
Okay.
how you apply this concept to Spear Breaker, but the important part is the concept. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes
Okay,
sense.
sweet. We're going to try that out. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. Let's try it out. Okay. Yeah, Spear Breaker's a fun hero.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I got an 8 kill streak and I was feeling pretty hot for a sec.
Hell yeah. Okay, so you're against Weaver, Lifestealer. Okay.
They were kind of just leaving me alone, so I just kind of vibed and tried my best to last hit, but I was not used to his animation, so it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I feel it. Yep. I'll just give you the drill that I tell everybody. I highly encourage you on every hero that you're playing in this group of 10. I'm actually going to take notes for this. Actually, I'm going to take notes in our chat for you that will also be for me. I think
Okay.
the most important thing you do with any hero that you add to your group of 3 is that you go into this and do it for like 5 to 10 minutes before you play the hero.
Okay.
This is just
Okay.
going to help you not have that problem.
Hell yeah.
Which is like I don't know this hero's animation and shit like this. So 5 to 10 minutes of CS trainer before playing hero to get a feel for their animation. Every hero's animation very unique. I highly encourage you to try that.
I'm about it.
Secondly, with Spear Breaker, this skill is usually last to be leveled. Maybe you'll level it at like level 8 or something. But it's usually Bash 1 or like you can. These 2 skills are debatable. As a core, you'll usually take Bash because this skill is pretty useless without Bash.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Again, I hadn't played Spirit Break in a long time, and actually the W was a misclick. I meant to click
Ah,
bash. So yeah,
gotcha,
100%.
gotcha.
I
Okay,
learned that.
okay. Never mind then. So, um, what was I gonna say? Okay. So when you do CS Trainer, I'm going to give you specifically one thing to think about. Okay.
Okay.
So when you're playing CS Trainer, your goal is to generally monitor and be able to tell yourself at any given moment, which creep will die next? So what happens is, if you ask yourself this question, you will notice that you're not really sure which one of these two is going to die next. And what happens is they both die about the same time, and you miss one. So when you see two, the whole goal of being able to identify which creep is going to die next is really important in general. But when you see two that are like this, your instinct now needs to be to async them. So you would hit this one right here.
Oh.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but this will be solved by doing the CS trainer, and while you're doing it on any hero, to just pay attention to, yeah, that creep's gonna die next, that creep's gonna die next, that creep's gonna die next. And the next step of that is actually like, how long do I have until that creep's gonna die? But just getting a rhythm for this is really important for hundreds of decisions that you'll make in the laning stage. But like, rather than going into all these decisions, I can just tell you that that's really important for now.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's going to be your main, like, little warm-up thing for every hero you're going to play. Now, I'm going to fast forward. Let's see. Yeah, they're not really contesting you, so there's not too much to talk about on the lane, and that's fine. We got enough for you to work on for CS and stuff. I think that'll help you immensely in the long run if you just kind of like slowly grind that out over time. It's like a very small effort for how much it'll improve you, I promise.
Got it. Yeah, because they weren't harassing me, I didn't finish wand. I was like, I'm not getting attacked. Like, I don't feel like I need it.
Yeah, no, that's it's good awareness that you are not just blindly buying items and that your items seem reasonable. So that's good. Not a problem we need to consider. And it's good to hear that you're like it's good information to me to hear that you're not like you're actually like I don't need full wand because of this. That's actually above 450 MMR for sure. No. Okay. So Shadowblade is much more of a support Spearbreaker type item to rush.
Heard.
So generally speaking, your item on offlane, this is all core rolls, but your first item accelerates your farm somehow. So I'm going to be giving you all these notes, but feel free to take any notes you have. Your first item accelerates your farm somehow. This can be through giving more mana for spells. This can be giving more survivability because you're a hero like Axe that just kills creeps with your spells. You don't need mana. Or this can be through actual creep clear, or through actual creep clear. And I mean that by like radiance, you know, you're not gonna like buy Battle Fury or whatever on offlane, but like, you know, some offlaners go radiance, for instance, as like speeding up your actual farm. So the question I need you to ask yourself on your first item you buy is, does this accelerate my farm? And it's not that every item in the game gives you something that makes your farm faster, right? Like Shadowblade makes you attack faster. So we're not being like, but I attack. I'm not saying you're doing this, but it's like, but I attack faster. The point is the primary purpose of that item to accelerate your farm? Like, that's the question. And so I know that there's offlaners that go blink, but that is only if you're having a bad game and you're not allowed to farm anyways. Like, that's why people rush blink. It's either because there's no item that speeds up their farm a lot and they don't need anything, or because they have no access to farm. So blink is one of those items that you'll see where the guy's free farming already anyways, or he doesn't have much area to farm, so there's no point in speeding up his farm. Do you see what I mean by that?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So what's happening is the majority of games where the lane isn't snowballing one way or the other, you're not going to fit those two descriptions, right? You're going to fit the middle, like 70 to 80% of games. And your
Yep.
first item in that case, like for Spear Breaker, there's not really I mean, Midas is like the default, you know, but you can consider something like Mask of Madness. You can consider drums because it's not amazing, but at least it gives you some attack speed. I think the
Yeah.
default for Spear Breaker would be Midas, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't think there's really a better item. You can also consider Kaya Yasha as your first item.
Okay.
Because the Kaya gives you mana to spam charge. And so if I were to do like Kaya Yasha, I'd probably finish like because the Kaya kind of sucks to build, like the build up doesn't feel very good. I would probably go like full wand Windlace with like a bracer. But that's a small thing. Okay. If you're going, I think in this case, I would have gone Midas with the type of lane you're in, because not much is happening here. You know?
Sure, that makes sense.
So, for Spear Breaker specifically, we're just using him as an example for this previous note. For Spear Breaker specifically, I'd consider Midas, Kaya, Mask of Madness, or Drums is kind of a hybrid. Like, I can go fight them, and it kind of helps me farm, but not really.
Okay.
I think those are the options for you. That's in the current patch. There's that may change in
Obviously,
future
subject to
patches,
change. Yeah.
but that's like the current patch. And so, basically, I want to limit your first item to those things because I want to give you a fundamental sense of what you're supposed to be doing at this stage of the game, anyways. A lot of offlane is either applying a lot of pressure or ramping up your farm speed without being a liability. Like, I don't want you to buy a Midas and AFK because you're underneath your tower all the time. But, like, if nothing's happening in the lane, might as well buy a Midas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I did feel it after I bought this Shadow Blade. I was like, I cannot even take these camps right now to like
Yes.
farm.
Yes.
That Roshan got me on the stun. I was pretty sad about
That
that.
did
And
suck, yeah.
but yeah, so like immediately after buying Shadow Blade, I did buy Mask of Madness because I didn't know what else to build. But I was like, I need to be able to farm.
But yeah, so like the cool thing about this is if you give yourself this limitation on every single hero in the game, you would never buy Shadowblade first on Spearbreaker ever again. You would never buy
Yeah.
Shadowblade on anybody ever again because that item doesn't do that, right?
Yeah.
So the point is not that it sounds like you are thinking and you notice things in the game, but I need to give you a framework that's preventing unnecessary mistakes. That
Hell yeah.
things that you don't need to learn. Like if you just apply the framework combined with the way you're thinking already, then you'll be on a much better track. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Cool. Okay. So it's good what you're doing. Like, keep that. Like, your thought that you're giving in the game and, like, like, adjusting on the, like, in reaction. Now we need to give you a framework so that it's not always reactionary, what your adjustments are. Okay. So... Okay, you're even looking at other lanes? Okay, to charge them. Nice. Yeah, nice try.
I just saw a fight was going on. I was like, well, let me see if I can help out. Got a kill, and then just charge back to my lane. And
yeah, it's tough. Like, I can't give you too much general coaching here because Spearbreaker plays the map, like, so differently than, like, every... a lot of heroes because he's, like, global and charges across the map. So it's, like, a pretty small investment. I would say... Okay. Here's a rule of thumb.
okay.
If you're in one side lane and there's a fight breaking out in another side lane.
Yeah.
So I'm going to type this. If you are in one side lane and there... Oh my god, I, like, swallowed the wrong pipe or something. And there is a fight in the other side lane. Connect through mid lane. What that means is if this lane is not farmed, push it and then fight. Don't skip it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Gotcha.
So you see this. I want you to learn to recognize this exact scenario. And if you want to be at top fight, it is a prerequisite that you TP mid, push this, and then go.
Okay.
So the only time that doesn't apply is if mid lane's already pushed.
Okay.
So what you're now checking is mid lane pushed? I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to connect.
Okay.
Does that Do you feel confident that you can apply that? Like, you'll be able to recognize that scenario, and even if you're not doing it perfectly, you'll be able to roll with that.
Yeah,
Okay,
100%.
cool. Then we're moving on. That's my biggest gripe about this is we have to teach people the fundamentals of the map that comes as prerequisites for fighting people. And that's that's a good general one that will lead you in a good, like, it'll cover X percentage of situations. Most of the time, people talk to me, I don't know how to do fight selection. And my answer is learn how to farm properly. So this is an example of what I mean by farm properly. Fight selection, a lot has to do with what's going on in the lanes. Okay, so what you'll learn as an offlaner, carries, this is a really good takeaway as well, is to connect through the mid lane. That's just a really good principle to have. You know, I might even just make a fucking video off that because I keep saying I need to make a fucking video, but I need to sit down with myself and make like 20 fucking videos because there's so many repeat concepts that people are missing. Okay. 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 Am I an on-map hero or an off-map hero? Do you know what I mean by that?
Like my presence on the map to the enemy?
What on-map means is I show myself willingly.
Okay. I would think so, right?
Would you say you're an on-map or an off-map hero?
On map?
Okay, so what is this item? An on-map
Off
item or an off-map item?
map. Yeah, okay. Off map.
Cool. So, ask yourself that question. Items need to match.
Okay.
Simple as that. Like,
Cool.
if you have, like, Drum's blade mail here, you don't die. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
so items that are good for showing on map are generally, like, stat items, you know?
Okay.
Like, those are just generally, like, stuff that makes you durable or harder to kill.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, if you were planning on playing this way, then you would buy those items. If you're planning on sitting in lanes or sitting off map charging people, like, if you have these, like, evasive type items, then you'll show on creep waves really briefly. Like, that's it. Like, you'll charge
Okay.
through the wave with your W Shadow Blade going, and then you'll walk away. Like, that's the playstyle that matches these items.
Okay.
So it's not that I'm telling you never to do that, but I'm trying to teach you and everybody watching that understanding the idea of what it means to be on map and off map is really important. And as long as you are consciously matching your playstyle with your items, we're good. Because you'll make mistakes. Okay. You'll choose games where you play on map and it's wrong. You'll choose games to play off map and you end up less farm than you could be. But the idea is that we don't want you playing on map with off map items and vice versa.
Makes sense.
Perfect. Okay. The Maelstrom queued up. Augers.
Yeah, I thought that would be a good farm item.
Cool. So on Spirit Breaker, the best farming items are to play off of Midas and Charge. Okay? So what I mean by Midas and Charge is you go Midas, Kayayasha, Octarine Core. That's like the greediest build on this hero.
Okay.
If you're building to farm, because what that does is it lowers the cooldown of your charge, lowers the cooldown of your Midas, and you like one-shot creep waves.
Okay.
With your charge. So that's how we play off this hero. And then like you know, in general, you would take the Bulldoze cooldown, you'd take the Bulldoze barrier. Like, you don't really play around attacking people on Spearbreaker. You play around... If you're allowed to attack them, they're already losing. Like, Spearbreaker's super fucking obnoxious when he, like, rams through you invisible and then, like, walks away. And then, like, ults you if he wants to. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
That's the way Spearbreaker functions. Just so people understand a bit, this is because Spearbreaker has a naturally high tankiness, solid move speed bonuses, and horrible base attack time. Meaning that he naturally attacks slower than most heroes in the game. So building around him actually attacking is not good.
Heard.
Like, that's just
Plus your stun's on a cooldown.
What?
The stun's on the cooldown too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're kind of meant to like bash somebody with your charge, then like bash them in the next few hits, and then like walk away and charge them again, and then bash them again. Like you're kind of meant to stagger bashes. And that's why I said
Okay.
Mask of Madness is like in theory okay. Like attack speed is nice on Spear Breaker, but you're not building it to intend to attack them a bunch. I know that sounds really weird, but that's kind of how the hero is.
Okay.
So yeah. I would love if you like. I think you will have a fucking blast if you do Midas, Kayayasha, Octarine Core, and then from there it's like BKB or Shadow Blade. Like at that point, as long as you're not killable when you walk up to the creep wave, usually people counter you with like nullifiers, and Yule Scepters because they remove your bulldoze. So you'll just need BKB for those.
Okay.
But as long as you're allowed to charge through creep waves with bulldoze, you're like unfucking killable. You're just an unkillable hero.
Cool.
So yeah, we're just gonna adjust that for you in terms of the way you build. I love the smorgasbord of shit we're getting here, and it's kind of expected when you know you haven't played the hero in quite some time, so you know
Yeah.
that's
Like I had
okay.
started on
Yeah,
Maelstrom and I was like, this is not gonna work.
you have a nice little poo poo platter of items here. I respect it. So okay. So my goal, like I said, I think you'll have a blast with Spirit Breaker. Like if you had blast with him playing with these items, like no offense, you'll have a blast playing him conceptually the way that he's so fun. Like
Okay.
actually, I have like an older video. It's not so old that it's outdated. It's like it's a different patch, but it's literally talking about how fun this build is. Let me see. Spirit Breaker BSJ. Is my video like titled that poorly that I can't find it? Oh my god. Okay, this doesn't count towards your coaching session. Give me a second here. You don't have anywhere to go?
No, I'm
Okay.
good all day.
Okay, just making sure. I'm not like trying to unvalue your time, but I really want to give you this video and everybody watching. So let me find it.
Yeah, give me everything you got.
Man, I'm gonna give myself like. Okay, real quick. I'm outsourcing this Twitch chat. If you know what video I'm talking about, send it. I'm gonna look back. I think this was like 2 years ago. This is all my like terrible clickbait titles that like don't help me find the fucking video. By visibility, public. Did somebody actually send it to me? Oh, yes. It said like 4 years fucking. It's 4 years old video. Holy shit! My facial hair. Don't watch that part. Don't watch. Don't watch that part. But it's the build. Ignore the ags, but the rest of it. Okay. Ignore the ags.
Okay.
Because the ags got changed. But trust me, I'm gonna sell you on like the funnest fucking build on Spearburger. It's for sure. Thank you, person in chat. Shout out to you. I'm gonna actually call you by name, Admiral Yama. That is indeed the video I was looking for. So thank you, sir. Okay. But yeah, it's basically gonna show gameplay of like the build I'm literally telling you. So.
Okay.
But back then, ags lowered the cooldown of your charge, so it was really fun to do that. But now it doesn't, so you don't do that anymore. Okay. So the issue you notice you're running into on Spearbreaker is that you don't have mana. So that's why the Kayayasha is so good, is because it makes your bash do more damage. Your bash is your primary source of farm by charging through a creep wave with the bash on. So the Kaya actually amps your farm, and it gives you enough mana to like actually charge. And so what I would want you to think is that Spearbreaker is all about like hardly ever is this hero sitting on a creep wave attacking it. Like
Makes sense.
that just doesn't happen. He's going to buy a Kaya, he's going to or Midas Kayayasha, and he's gonna charge through the fucking creep wave, and the amount of time he spends, like early game, sure. Like early game, you're gonna show on creep waves because like your stuff doesn't do enough damage to one-shot it. But like later on,
Sure.
You're a fucking assassin that is so fucking annoying to deal with because you charge through the wave and you're gone. Like, and you run away at 900 move speed or some shit, and then they just can't kill you. And you also only have to go back to base when you actually fight heroes, you know? And you will fight heroes, but it'll be, you know, we're just adding the little mid lane farm thing in there as like a prerequisite. So never leave a creep wave behind. Never leave a creep wave behind here. This is what I mean by leaving a creep wave behind. You're right next to it. So
yeah,
we're just
clear
adding...
that next one and then go to mid.
Yeah, never leave a creep wave behind. This requires knowing where the creep waves are.
Sure.
Based on the timer. So generally speaking, you'll learn just from this exact example that the creeps get here about 27 seconds on the 30-second rotation. So at 27 and 57, the creeps will be right here. So if you can slowly but surely over time develop a sense of where these creeps are on this line, like all the way from here to here, based on the timer, you will just farm way better in general. So that's just something to... Honestly, you could spend 5-10 minutes looking into it and then consciously paying attention to it for 50 games, and you'll just never have to think about it again. That's how I look at this kind of stuff. So yeah, but that is all about never leaving a creep wave behind. Okay. Okay. So the idea of Spear Breaker is your entire gameplay. I know I've repeated items a bunch, but you're going to buy a Midas Kayayasha Octarine Core, and you're going to charge waves off cooldown. And then there's going to be this time where there's no creep waves, and you go kill people like this. And you're like, oh, this is fucking fun, because I'm now killing people with all my net worth. And guess what happens when you kill people?
You get more net worth?
You go right back to what you were doing before.
Oh, just go back to farming.
Your hero has no other function in the game than to charge creep waves and then charge heroes. Okay. The only exception to this is when there's no heroes to charge and all the creep waves are farmed. Then you can charge. You can go on a camp and drop both the creeps to half and then charge a creep wave. You can add a jungle camp to that. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's like the only exception to this because you've ran out of creep waves and heroes. Like they're gone. Like all the heroes are missing and all the creep waves are farmed. Then you can do some jungle camps. But the point is that I want this trigger to go off in your head where you're like, sick, fight's over, never hitting a fucking building or a creep wave next to your teammates ever again. Right? You're gonna charge. You're charging this right now. You see what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Your creep waves, charge creep waves, and heroes. Kill people. Resume. Okay. There's really not much. I'm gonna put in my notes here for you so it's very clear. Not much room for anything else. Yeah, never hit buildings, never like if there are no creep waves and no heroes in your vision, you have permission to do other things. Does that sound good? Okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. Fantastic. So the dream in this scenario, for instance, would be that you have limitless mana because you have Kayayasha. You TP away from your team right now and charge this wave. And then, because you're a fucking Spear Breaker, you show up at this fight 20 seconds later, the exact same as you are now, but this wave is pushed in.
Yeah.
Right?
Cleared the wave, got the farm, and I'm in the fight.
Yeah, instead, it's like the only difference I see is that you're at the fight, but this is happening. So people underestimate the importance of just this in general. Like, this is why games are hard, actually. Fix this, and your games will suddenly feel way easier. I promise. Okay, so you do it eventually. I usually see that people do these things eventually, but we need to speed up the farming, or the timing on that.
Yeah.
Please let me know what you think of that YouTube video. It's not in terms of the production, but the actual build itself. I don't want to watch my own video; it'd be too cringe. But let me know what you think of. Did I sell you on the build, and is it fun? I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I have a feeling I gave you the right video for what's fun. It's a good fit for you.
I just felt like I was having a blast. I was like, I'm everywhere, doing all the things.
Yeah, now we just give you limitless mana and faster move speed, and you're gonna have more things, and you're gonna have the exact same experience, but more things. So, like in this case, what you would do right now is you would start hitting this camp, ready to charge the next creep wave by dropping all of these to half.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Because there's no creep waves and no heroes right now. That's what I mean by this is a moment where that applies, right?
Gotcha. So I don't need to waste time hitting the tower, waiting for the creep wave. Like, go get the farm
Look at
first.
That.
Yeah.
Not even a shocker. That's the only way you're ever gonna die. If you're sitting on a tower hitting it. So, yeah, you're a hero that's incredibly mobile. The more, I'll just put this in your notes. The more mobile your hero is, the less likely, this is because it's not like, you know, all comprehensive or whatever. Dota has a lot of exceptions. You are to show and hit buildings. Just generally speaking, because your hero fucking zooms. Like, heroes like Primal Beast don't really hit buildings. They show on creep waves with trample for 2 seconds, and then they walk away. It's the same. These are like melee bruisers that don't, like, if you like Spearbreaker, you'll probably like Primal. But,
I did play Primal earlier, and we mopped up pretty good, and I was like, man, that was fun.
Yeah, you'd probably like him a lot. So, okay. Let's see. Oh my god!
So basically, at this point is where things started kind of falling apart on us.
Playing the Fog of War, basically.
You end up losing this one?
Yeah, we lost.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to like really review it. I was like, okay, like we screwed up somewhere big time.
I mean, in all honesty, if you adapt the build and the creep wave mentality, you'll just win these games. Like, it will fix your problem. I promise. I absolutely promise you. Like, the reason this game's not ending is this. I promise.
I mean, makes sense.
The
lanes push out, and like it's my job to keep them pushed there. Lad.
Yeah. And with the build I mentioned, you will just one-shot creep waves with your charge. So, like later on in the game, the shard is really important for one-shotting creep waves.
Okay.
Because it gives you that extra 100 move speed, which means this does more damage.
I like it.
So, at some point, maybe like 25, 30 minutes, you buy this shard. You know, like not immediately at 15, but like somewhere in that 25, 30 minute range, you'll have the shard. Okay, yeah, you took the right talents. And then, yeah, once you get to 25 with the Charge of Darkness cooldown, so it goes down to 9, and then you have an Octarine core, so it makes it like 6.5. And you're just fucking zooming, dude. Okay. So this whole thing of Spearbreaker inside of heroes right-clicking, like this you'll never do again. Like, what you'll either do is ult the guy or you'll disengage.
Okay.
And you'll charge him again because your charge is up in like 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Like that. But that's how the hero plays. You don't win honest fights. Unless it's like literally 3 of you against 1 of them, so they can't fight you back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If they can't fight back, you're like the most toxic fucking hero ever because you're chasing them really fast and bashing them. And it's like, this fucking sucks. But if they're allowed to just turn around and hit you, most heroes will beat you. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I experienced.
Yeah, that will be what happens. And you also didn't.
I think that's probably why the things got pretty bad, because I kept trying to be in fights right-clicking.
Yes, you are conceptually scaling in a way that is not in line with the hero's attributes, which is a ton of bonus move speed, status resistance, and not attacking because his base attack time, right? So the whole idea of a ton of move speed and status res is you can just run the fuck around. You should never be still. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the hero's allowed to do. So that's what we want to play off of on this hero for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is, for everyone, including yourself watching here, is like, I want you to understand why this hero functions this way so that you can start applying this to other heroes as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the throw is real.
It really was. I was like, man, I felt so hot for a sec, and then it just started falling apart.
Okay. So, you have 2 teammates dead right now. What are you supposed to do?
Probably go either top to go kill Lion or bottom to clear the wave.
Okay, so you'd go top to clear the wave or bottom to clear the wave?
Oh, to clear the.
Either one's fine.
Okay, that's fair.
But the idea is waves first, heroes second, generally speaking. Like, not always, okay? But
Yeah.
I just know, with all due respect, if you were prioritizing heroes, or sorry, if you were prioritizing CS over heroes, you would not be 450. So let's just flop that priority, and like later you can maybe tweak it a little bit. You know, it's not
Okay.
like always one or the other, but generally speaking, you will kill more heroes if you actually farm creeps, rather than you will farm more creeps if you kill heroes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So flip priority on heroes versus creeps. That does gradually flip back to heroes as the game goes later. But right now, with you right now, I know you will just win games on Spirit Breaker if you're just fucking charging creeps. And then you're like, oh shit, I'm done with creeps. I've got charge again. It's 4 seconds later. And I just go kill people, you know? It's going to be sick. It's going to be fucking sick. So I think my main takeaway for you when you're playing this hero, because we're reaching kind of the time limit here, is that I want you to think about the build, like how that's like, so we now understand generally how Spear Breaker is going to scale. Like that's what he's going to do. And then feel free to watch. I would encourage you to watch the video, but that's, you know, you're not required to do that. So then,
I will.
but then just don't comment on the facial hair. But then, but what was I going to say? Oh, and for you to use Spear Breaker as a good idea of, I want you to think about how often you're showing on the map.
Okay.
Just generally speaking, like in the early to mid game, it's fine. But the longer the game goes on Spear Breaker, like you will literally blow through a creep wave instantly and be gone. Like you'll be showing for like half a second. You know, if you have Shadow Blade, you literally don't show at all. You can just one shot the creep wave invisible. And I've even seen Immortal players have trouble dealing with this. Okay, meaning like they have to buy detection and Yulju and shit like this. It's like really annoying for them, not for you. And then so we're learning a lot about the idea of on map, off map, understanding that that first item really needs to accelerate your farm on any hero that you're playing. And then generally your second item allows you to go do stuff around the map. So in Spearbreaker's case, like Kayayasha is really nice for that, generally speaking, because you have the mana to farm and to go kill people. So like that's what that means. You know, it's not a one-size-fits-all build, but I know you'll have fun with it and it will work for what we're considering. But in the future, you can consider these other items. And then, yeah, this idea of connecting with the mid-wave, all of these extra things that I said, one side lane to the other, as well as never leave a creep behind, these are things that I've brought to your attention and take secondary priority to the other stuff. But they're, you know, maybe you'll catch yourself one day being like, oh, I skipped mid-wave. Gotta remember to do that. Or, oh shit, that creep wave just showed up. Gotta remember to do that. Gotta remember to think about that. But those are kind of like if you spend 50 games only thinking about those things, they become second nature, and it just comes down to when and if you feel like doing that, really.
Okay.
But if you have the on-map, off-map thing, that applies to every hero in the game. You'll start assessing heroes based on that, and it'll really help you understand them as well.
Okay.
Cool, man. Is there any questions before to clarify anything before I send you off?
No, I think that's pretty good.
Sweet, man. It was a pleasure. I'm gonna see you later. Peace.
Yeah.